Okay. Hey guys. Making a video real quick. As you can see, I'm only using one microphone. I'm not even wearing my headphones. So I think this is the first video on this channel where I'm not using a stereo pair of microphones. And that's honestly because I just set this up. I just, took all this stuff back out. Because this entire area, I kind of took it down and replaced it with my Huiyin drawing tablet. And honestly, I haven't even used it since I did that. I've been basically taking a break over the past week from making YouTube videos to basically focus on other things and try to dabble with different hobbies and interests and change my perspective and stuff. For example, growing up, I got really into a very specific genre of video games. Like it had to be sci-fi, it had to be multiplayer. I stopped caring about fantasy. I stopped caring about stories. And it made it where I had a very narrow perspective on things where I couldn't enjoy games that were based in medieval times or ancient times or I only would play sci-fi multiplayer games. I wouldn't play through the campaign. I didn't care about stories. And it started to bug me because I realized I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. And it's probably really screwing up the way that I see the world and, opportunities that you can have if you're more open-minded and stuff. So lately I got into reading. So I got The Hobbit here, The Hobbit. And I got done with chapter 1 just now. And honestly, I had to quote suspend disbelief in order to read the chapter because when you get in that state of mind where you don't like fantasy, you don't like fiction, I stopped watching movies, I stopped watching TV, and honestly the real world, watching propaganda like news and YouTube can really make you cynical and unhappy. And lately I've been wanting to play single player games, be more open-minded about the genre or the theme of things. So this is a fantasy book written by whatever J.R.R. Tolkien. Anyway, so it's kind of neat to understand that this book is the foundation for a lot of fantasy books these days. It's about the Hobbit, it's about dwarves, it's about elves, it's about dragons, it's about all these things. And so this, reading a storybook that's not themed after, futuristic things, I really had to force myself and be open-minded and get different perspectives. Because when I first started reading this, I'm like, why am I reading this? It's, it's fiction. I don't care about dwarves and elves and, hobbits and all this stuff and dragons. And, I kind of really had to suspend disbelief. And honestly, by the time I was done with chapter 1, and I put the book down, I had a much healthier state of mind. I literally saw the world differently. I was less cynical, less depressive, more open-minded. And I think, it really helped. It honestly, put me in a much better mood. I enjoyed it. I stopped caring that, it was themed after these things that are just fantasy and fiction and not real. So, a lot of people read books. A lot of people read that, a lot of people have different personalities. They play through single player campaigns in video games. And honestly, being more open-minded to all of this stuff, to enjoy this stuff, really helps, from being very cynical and, only caring about real things and being very depressive. And, there's a lot of stuff you can watch on YouTube that's very stressful and cynical and makes you unhappy, but at least it's, real, but really it's just brainwashing you into, a certain state of mind. So lately I quit energy drinks, I quit alcohol, I started working out more and all this stuff. and being more physically active. I'm still working on all these things. I took a break from making videos. So I tried my electric guitar. It has a lot of self noise, so I kind of put it back in the closet after that. I put out this drawing tablet instead of making ASMR videos to try to get myself into like being open-minded about art and drawing and stuff, because typically I use this thing as a tool to make tutorials or lectures, to teach people stuff. You can see some of my videos using this for that, but I kind of want to be open-minded again about art and drawing, just kind of like this, reading books, because over the years I've just developed these stigmas over fantasy and these hobbies that you can have that feel like a complete waste of time, and stuff like that. And then you end up just like shutting everything down and having a very narrow, cynical, depressive perspective on things. And I gotta say, reading the first chapter of The Hobbit was really good, really fun. So trying new things, being open-minded, not being overly picky, can really open your mind, and enjoying fantasy, enjoying fiction, just as good as listening to real world cynicism, if not better. So it's kind of like when you grow up, like you first get into video games and it's like a whole new world, and you're really enthralled by the characters and the music and the designs, and over time maybe you become more cynical and depressive, and you just yeah. So there's so many things you can get addicted to that just stress you out, make you unhealthy, unhappy. And there's so many things that can just like, free your mind and make you less stressed and actually perform better, Surprise, surprise, reading fictional stuff is actually therapeutic. And, while a lot of real world things that people like, oh, I care about, serious things, end up just stressing you out and wasting your time, and giving you like this pent up urgency that you don't even need to have. So escaping into storybooks and enjoying fantasy and stuff, really beneficial. So anyway, that's it for this video. Just kind of wanted to make a little update about what I'm doing. I will probably make more ASMR videos in the future. Just wanted to make an update about, wow, reading is amazing. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Again, like my electric guitar, it's a nice guitar. It's a Fender Stratocaster Player Series, made in Mexico, $800 or something like that. I paid for it. When you plug it in to the audio interface, it's got the 60 cycle hum, but it's also got some, static and self noise that's quite annoying. It's not completely unusable, but it's like, wow, I would rather just like use digital instruments in FL Studio instead. But there's a lot of music with like guitars and heavy metal and stuff, and they have humbuckers on the guitar to get rid of 60 cycle hum, or at least try to, and stuff like that. Mine doesn't have humbuckers because it's very chimey and bright, but instead of mid-rangey like humbuckers, humbuckers like really change the sound, but it's for overdriving guitars and heavy metal or rock music. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, learning to play the guitar is very, very hard. Just like getting into drawing, into art. I used to be big into that to some degree, but I ended up just being more serious and using this thing to do lectures and tutorials and stuff like that instead of art. So trying to get back into that stuff, because honestly it is very therapeutic. And then the older you get, like you start caring more and more about making money and views instead of like actually enjoying hobbies. Next thing you know, you're stressed out, unhappy, cynical, and you don't enjoy anything, and you're super picky because all of these traumas that you experience, oh, this didn't work, or oh, this is a waste of time. Next thing you know, you're just very unhappy and negative. And it's kind of interesting, because the more you study this stuff and think about this stuff and explore it, you realize you want to be happy, open-minded, healthy, and if you have addictions, actually work on it. Quit energy drinks, quit alcohol, quit junk food, exercise, explore hobbies. Don't get too much cynicism and tunnel vision, and be happy. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.